how to deal with, quote, friends who try to leech off girls you bring into your inner circle.
Yeah, that's a violation of the bro code. And so you need to set and enforce healthy boundaries. Because every guy's got a friend or two who just has no game. And so you might be out having a few drinks, a couple cute girls come over, and you start talking. You're kind of jiving or vibing with one of them. And then, your buddy within a minute or two is said something inappropriate or stupid, and the other girl's like, "Let's go," and she pulls her friend away, and you're like, "What the fuck, dude?" So if you got some, and then if say you have a party or you're inviting girls over, or a girl that you're seeing, and maybe they're talking trash about you to the girl that you're seeing, it's like, because that happens a lot. You'll see guys that will try to sandbag, or if they're all friends with the same girl, they all know the same girl, they all met her at the same time. There might be two or three of them that like her, and but don't have the guts. They're trying to fly under the radar. Like a lot of guys go with the friends first route, thinking, "Hey, once she sees what a great guy I am, then she'll want to date and sleep with me." And then what happens is they just get stuck in friend zone because the friendship is a fraudulent friendship. It's not he's there because he wants to be her pal. He's there because he wants to get in her pants, but he pretends to be the friend only when he wants to beat up her pelvis. And so this is important. When you're younger, you don't know these things because it really hasn't happened to you a lot. But as you get older, and you go through life, and you get experience, you'll find that there'll be guys and girls in your peer group that are gonna sandbag you. They don't want to see you doing better than them, and sometimes they don't want to see you do as well as them, and so they're going to do and say things to try to knock you down. And first thing you do is you got to say, hey, that girl and I, we've been seeing each other. Things you said to her were inappropriate. It's like, you're supposed to be my friend, and yet she told me everything you said to her about me. And it's like, what's up with that? Why would you say that? And if he comes clean and says he's sorry, you can forgive him. But if he keeps doing it, then you got to boot those people out of your inner circle, because they'll cause problems. Those are the type of dudes that'll try to sleep with your wife. Like one of my supposed best friend, I had, in confidence, I had shared with him that I was gonna leave my wife and I was gonna talk to her, that particular night, and tell her what I was thinking, what I was feeling. And then I remember I remember this conversation like it was yesterday, and it was like 25 years ago. We're sitting in our bed, and I'm telling her, and she's sitting there, and it's like, she doesn't seem like, she's like,
Face.
I know. And I was like, you kind of seem like you know. And she's like, well, I talked to so and so early. And so my best friend had told her everything I was saying to him, he was telling her about it.
Oh my
And so here I'm
gosh.
thinking I'm going to have this long conversation with my wife, and my best friend he was figuring, oh, well, Corey's going to divorce her, so I'll just slide in there. And so after we had, it was a few weeks after that, he went to lunch with her or had drinks with her or whatever. I didn't know because she later told me. And so they were hanging out together, and he's like, so you want to fuck or what?
What?
And it's like,
Yeah,
it's
literally.
like, he said that? I was like, really? And then, she told me about all these other things. I was like, what a dick.
Oh my gosh.
This is your
He was the
best
best man at
friend.
my wedding.
your best
What?
man.
Best man, yeah.
Talk about a dagger.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Talk about a dagger through like your back.
Are you guys still?
Ridiculous.
No.
Okay, good.
And so it was funny when I went into business with my business partners, he eventually went to work for my other business partner, the older one, James. And he was kind of lazy, and he just wanted things to kind of come to him. He was a good salesman, but he was just lazy. He didn't, and plus he was getting fat and lazy, fatter. This guy was a model. I mean, like, he was like 6'4", 6'5", deep voiced, handsome guy. Women, like, when we were teenagers, early 20s, it's like chicks were fucking lining up for this guy. And he's lazy. He let himself go. His six-pack went away, and then he was huge. He got fat. And I remember my partner, James, would not give him, he wasn't willing to pay him the kind of money he wanted. And so he goes and talks shit about me, about my partners, to everybody that worked there. And he's like, watch your back. And then so he leaves on really bad terms. And then I hear all this stuff that he had said about me. I was like, and that was like the second time. And some of the guys had called him to invite him out to do stuff, and he ignored everybody. And I didn't talk to him for the longest time, and then probably, let's see, like probably 8 or 9 years later, this was in Orlando, and I was walking through my neighborhood, and this black SUV pulls up, and then I see this guy getting out. I was like, who is this? And he gets out, and he's like, hey, man. And then so we talked, and then we went back to my place and talked for a while, and he's like, oh, let's just let water be under the bridge. And I was like, I gave him, and I was like, I
No.
didn't want to be friends with him anymore.
I don't know if that's water.
No, you're not obligated.
Yeah, he just wanted me to just forget about everything, but it's like multiple infractions. And what's interesting is like my parents never liked him. Even like when we were, because he came and lived with us, I think when I was like 18, 19, his mother kicked him out. And so he lived with me for like, I think a month and a half, whatever it was. And they never liked him. I was like, you don't understand, he's a great guy. And so after this stuff with my wife and then this shit with the business partner, I was like, pfft.
That's toxic.
Yep. And then it was funny, a few years ago, he got in touch. He was going to be up here. He was down here visiting. And he wanted to get together. And then I was like, sure. I told him I had already eaten, but hey, why don't you guys come by have a drink afterwards or whatever. And then he blew me off. And through a mutual friend, I heard he was pissed off that I didn't go meet him at the restaurant. I was like, I'd already eaten. So it was like, you got in touch with me, you want to hang out, and you want to try to mend things, and then you get butthurt because I won't walk down to the restaurant. I was like, hey, when you guys get done eating, come by.
Mm-hmm.
And I never heard from him after that. It was like, so I blocked his number, blocked him on social media. I was like, that's it.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, Corey, because I've gone through a similar thing as well. But it, like I said in another video that we did, it really goes to show the kind of maturity they have, and they're not really your friends if they're trying to sabotage you. It's just very clownish.
Yeah, he's a snake in the grass.
Yeah, it's just very clownish how they are so quick to try to defame you as a person and try to get other people to like go against you. It's super immature. And then when they try to hang out and they're trying to mend things like you mentioned, like they act like a clown when they pull that stint, It really makes no sense.
Yeah, he would do things like that. He would try to take girls away from me that I was talking to or that I had met, or the situation with my wife. And in later years, another girl I was dating. It was just the constant lack of integrity. The dude never changed. And all these years later, I was willing to hang out and have some drinks with him and catch up, and he's still acting like a bitch.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was the last time I'm gonna give the dude a chance. I made it so he can't contact me anymore.
The last thing you need is that negativity in your life. Like, they've already done too much damage. Like, there's no really going back to that. And like I said, I've experienced that before. Not exactly what happened with Corey per se, but the whole that they try to sabotage you. It's just, I understand how he feels. It boils your blood. It really does.
I mean, it definitely seems like he had some sort of like vendetta.
Yeah.
But
He was always jealous and envious because I always got things done. I always made my dreams happen. He jealous of the girls I dated over the years. He was jealous of the business I have with my partners because we were way more successful than he ever was.
But like my question is, like, if you're so envious and like you low key deep inside hate this person, why do you stay friend? Not you, as in him. Like, why does he stick around and be your friend if he envies you so much?
He has
Like,
nothing else to do. That's
I don't
why.
get it. Like, why would you even like?
Well, it's like
don't-
haters. Haters don't really hate you. They hate themselves.
Right.
They want to be you. They want to be like you, and they know they can't.
So like, stick around to what? Like,
So if
get
they can knock
tips?
you down a few pegs, because if you believe you're up here and you're achieving at this level and they're down here, if they can get you to think about yourself and come down to their level, then it justifies their model of the world, their way that they live. They feel better about their lives if you're suffering just like they are.
They try to scour for your weakness. If they see that you're doing good, like, they'll try to hurt you where it hurts the most.
So
Because
it's like
how
if-
else are they going to know if they don't realize what is up in your life?
Yeah, he's fat and out of shape, and I'm fit and in shape, and I've kind of always been that way. And the way it would show up is, oh, just come on, eat the candy, have the piece of cake, have a few more drinks. They're going to encourage you to do things that are against the way you're trying to live, whether it's sandbagging your relationships, encourage you to not go to the gym or work out or to eat stuff that's not healthy, or to take a job that's less than what you're capable of, because then because again, people fear that they're going to lose you,
Right.
and so they want to pull you down to their level. And like I said, you don't. I didn't know. Nobody told me this, that once you start becoming really successful, you find out who your real friends are.
Mm-hmm.
As I started becoming more successful, making a lot more money and having influence and stuff, it's like people that were in my inner circle, he was one of them. He's like, he was constantly trying to sandbag me and talk shit about me. And that's, as you go through life, you gotta delete those people from your life.
It's giving like a evil energy. I still don't get it, but
I mean, he's
it's like
clearly has no couth.
their only like purpose, or like their lives basically revolve around you, and without having you around, they're nothing. Like all they have to do all day is just belittle you. Like, what if they didn't have that opportunity? Like,
Because they're not stepping up in their own lives.
Yeah.
They're not becoming what you're becoming. It's like as you get older, you start to outpace your friends. You earn more, you date more attractive people, you take more trips, you have more fun, you live in nicer neighborhoods, whatever happens to be. And they know that they're not stepping up in their own lives, and they're not doing the things that are necessary to get to that same level. And so if they can cause you to doubt yourself and sandbag you and cause you to basically stay at their level, they validate their life choices through wrecking your life, in essence. And then they feel better about the fact that they're not stepping up, because now you're not stepping up. And so they either come with you or you have to leave them behind, especially people like that, because they're just toxic.